something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotion had an echo in so much space. When you out there without care, I was out of tune. But it wasn't because I didn't know, no. I just knew too much. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Possibly. I hope that you're having the time of your life. Think twice. That's my only advice. Who do you think you are? Oh, bless your soul. You think you're in control? I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. Just like me. My heroes had the heart, lose their lives out on the land. And all I remember.
Oh, come in. Munde come cap kuno. Mkwai. Let's go.
Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe you're crazy. Maybe we're crazy. Probably. Oh, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe you're crazy. Maybe you're crazy. Probably.
Hey, everybody. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning. Please tell me in the comments if this broadcast is loud and clear and we are on the straight and narrow. Come in. See, this is, thank you. This is one of the reasons being a one-man show, you have to do everything by yourself. If the sound's out of whack, it's because of me. If the visual is out of whack, it's because of me. Somebody said, well, you need a team. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. For now, I'd love for you to tell me. I'd love to hear you say, Mwewa, you are loud and clear. Picture's good, sounds good. There's nothing in the world. When it comes to live broadcasting, there's nothing more beautiful than a beautiful sound and a beautiful picture. Not that I'm saying I'm beautiful. I mean, let's be clear, okay? I'm just saying. A few shout outs to you this morning because this is one of my favorite parts about the morning show and the live broadcast is I get to shout you out. Millie Peary, good morning, sir. The picture and sound is good. Simon, do you have power there? Yes, we do. We've got I'm a light. Of course, it may go any moment. The power may be switched off any moment. Oh, by the way, did I tell you that we as Simoson, we're headed towards solar, and we're going to do it in stages, of course. And on top of that, we are in the process of renovating the building step by step. I get a lot of flack for that. People tell me that all the time. They come here and say, well, you've got a beautiful office, but the building, do something about that. We're doing something about that. Okay. If it's any consolation, and this is what I always tell people, when they talk about how ugly Simoson is, I say to them, at least it's debt free. This building has zero debt. So let's be thankful for that. Okay, let's be thankful for that. All righty, guys, just real quick, watching you from Kamwala South. Thank you so much. Good morning, my favorite vlogger. Bless you. Mono says, is this Mono? Mono says, good morning, sir. Player, thank you so much. Let's get into it. I want to talk to you for a few minutes. And before I do that, let me just make mention. Yesterday, I did a broadcast and I talked about this false Nigerian con man by the name of Seer Zero, a.k.a. Andrew Ejimadu, this Nigerian broke false prophet that loves to stick his nose into our business as a nation, when the truth is Nigeria is standing on the precipice of total collapse, and yet he says nothing about his own country. He says nothing about where he lives. He says nothing about the soil that he comes from. He says nothing about the land that he hails from. But oh, here it is. Every moment, every chance he gets to talk about Zambia, he does it because he knows he's got a cluster of people in this country who are so dull, who are so dwanzi, who are so unenlightened that they listen to that idiot, that stupid idiot, Andrew Ejimadu, a.k.a. Seer Zero. I will never refer to him as the singular. Never. Because that's not his name. That's not the name his mama gave him. I will always refer to him by the name that his mama gave him, the name his daddy gave him, the government name that is tainted with fraud and sexual child abuse and child molestation. And that name, Andrew Ejimadu, is anonymous with skullduggery and scammery and child sexual exploitation. That's the reason he doesn't use Andrew Ejimadu, is because he knows when you search Andrew Ejimadu, what's going to come up is a lot of mess. That's why he uses that other Seer Zero. But anyway, so yesterday I did a live broadcast about him because, in Zambia, there's this idea that you can't retort against Andrew. I don't know who gave you this idea? Who cowered you and boxed you into a corner that made you believe that when Andrew speaks that you can't speak back? I'll tell you where it came from. It came from when, remember a few years ago during the PF, he came up one day and he was preaching under a tree and he says to his flock over there in Nigeria, and he says, in Zambia, all these PF ministers, they got charms from me, and if they don't give me back my charms, they're going to die. And that was a Sunday. He was going to announce who it was, and people were going to drop dead according to him. Wake up. All lies. And yet the whole nation, with bated breath, Zambians, this is why I tell you, false prophets should not be allowed a foothold into the consciousness of any nation. They are destructive. They are the sons and the soils of the devil. They walk to and fro on the face of the earth, looking for whom they may devour. I tell you that all the time. And so here it is, he announced, PF Varafwa. Now, Dwanzi chaps, you listened to that nonsense. I even told you, I said, you know what he's going to do? First of all, nobody's going to drop dead, okay? If they do die, it's not because of Andrew, okay? Let's be clear about that, because like I said yesterday, Andrew has no intrinsic power in and of himself. The only power that exists is that space between his ears, that empty space between his ears. He has zero power. But he convinced you. And I said it. I told you back then, I said, nobody's going to drop dead. What he's going to do is going to turn around and say, no, they didn't die because they returned my chums. They returned them. Na imwe mwaumfuira china ama ministers vamu PF vali mubweshisha Andrew, so Andrew spared their lives. This is the reason you need gatekeepers. You know what a gatekeeper is? Someone that stands in the gap and says, no, we're not going to let that nonsense here. We're not going to allow you to penetrate the power structure of this nation. We're not going to allow you to penetrate and permeate the psyche of the Zambian. We know that you know that Zambians are Dwanzi. That's why you take advantage of Zambians. Because the Zambians, you just mention God and the Bible. And in the realm of the spirit, realm of the spirit, you need gatekeepers. You need somebody that'll stand in the gap and tell you, no, that's not the way to go. You need someone that'll tell you that do not fear these false prophets. You need someone to stand in front of you and say, you quote the word of God, quote the Bible, stand on the authority of the word of God. I am persuaded that he is able to keep that which I have committed unto him against that day. You stand on the authority of the word of God. Don't stand on the falsities of these false prophets. Andrew Alanda Imumwatina. Nobody used to speak against Andrew. Why? Because he convinced you that he was the Jagaban of power. There is no Jagaban. There is no Godfather. Godfather only exists within the recesses of your mind. Why? Because he has created that ghost, that apparition, that falsehood, and you believe it. Nonsense. Bull roar. In America, they call it bull roar. That's what that is. So here it is. Andrew now says, he turns around and he says to me, he said, Simon, I'm going to address you. He said, I was going to address you today, but out of respect for Maureen Wanawasa and her funeral, I'm going to remain silent. I will only address you tomorrow, meaning Lelo, at 11 o'clock. Andrew, nobody gives two bent pens what you do. You could address me today, next week, next month, next year. Nobody cares. I don't care. And then you Zambians, Mwaima, Andrew, he'll finish you at 11 o'clock. How the hell is he going to do that? Because I've been talking against Andrew for years. What's going to change? All he's going to do is just make up a bunch of lies and make all these foolish statements and talk about how he has power to do that. One time, Andrew says, I'm going to put Simon in a bottle. Am I in a bottle? Show me the bottle, somebody. Somebody, please, roll me out in a bottle. Oh, Andrew says he's going to put you in a bottle. Well, am I in a bottle? Andrew's going to finish you. I've been speaking about him for years. Am I finished? I'm still here. I'm still here. You know why I'm still here? Because I don't believe in that bull roar. That's why. I don't believe in that nonsense. I stand on the authority of the word of God. That's what I do. Okay? So he's going to talk at 11. Nobody cares. I don't care. I don't. All righty. All righty. All right. Oh, here it is. This is the truth. Sears Zero is delusional. You ain't lying. Tell you what. Homeboy has lost his mind. He thinks he's the architect of our destiny. He thinks in his mind that he has Zambia wrapped around his little finger and that he can decree anything and call it into being. But he doesn't know that the Zambian people that are born of this territory, the Zambian people that are a product of this soil, we are the captains of our destiny. Not some lost, fickle, futile, frail, flawed Nigerian that tries to speak into our lives. No. Not on our watch. We are gatekeepers. We are here to stand in the gap of this nation. Why? Because we are sons of this territory. And we will protect it, Andrew. We will protect it. We will protect it. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. All righty. Let's talk about Fred for a moment. Here it is. Let's break this down. Here's my question today. Why are people leaving Fred Membe's Socialist Party? Well, the short answer is this. Oh, goodness gracious. See, I knew I was going to, it's party. The party's broke. And I was earlier I put up a post. I said, this nation needs campaign finance reform. You can't have political parties that are run in the way that they are run currently in Zambia. Right now, we have a system where the party supports the supporters. That's wrong. The supporters are supposed to support the party. If you are a member of MMD, you call yourself a member of MMD, ideally, you are supposed to fund the party. Why? Because the party is in sync with your ideology. You agree with the manifesto of that party. You declare yourself associated with the MMD. And because you believe it, you invest in it. By the same token, in the same vein, if you are a member of the PF, depending on which PF it is, because there are three PFs now. There's Miles Zampa's faction, there's Edgar Lungu's faction with the UKA deplorables, and then you've got that Chabinga, who has now self-declared that he is the president of that PF. So you have to invest. If you are a member of one of these three PF parties, there's the new PF under Miles, there's the Notorious Patriotic Front under Edgar Lungu, and then there's the wayward, the lost, Chabinga party of the PF. Choose who you're going to align yourself with and then invest in that party. If you are a member of the UPND, invest in that party. Why? Because their ideology is in sync with yours. Number in Zambia, it's the other way, it's upside down. In order for people to support a party, they expect to be fed. Nonsense. Nonsense. Now, because of that, this is the reason you have people like Fred Membe, Harry Kalaba. These people fall on the wayside because the financial burden to sustain a nationwide political effort is insurmountable, and it should not rest on the shoulders of an individual. Are you hearing that? Tell me in the comments below if that resonates with you. Break that down for me. Go ahead, tell me. I'll wait. It's very true. You see, moving forward, no pun intended, we have to change the way we do politics in Zambia as far as campaign financing is concerned. You see, and this is why I always say, and I know when I say this, I'm misunderstood when I say this. People that don't have means should not become presidents or politicians. You have to have some semblance of stability in order for you to serve the people effectively, because you're not thinking about your stomach. If you put a poor man as president of the republic and then you shroud it and cover it in, no, God is the one who selected him. That poor man, his first item on his agenda is to amass wealth for himself. It is not to serve the people of Zambia. Are you hearing that? I've always said it, and I'll never stop saying, people of means are the ones that should be allowed to run for office. I'm not saying you have to be wealthy. No, I'm saying you have to have some semblance of stability, some semblance of firm standing. The dispensation, the era of voting in people that don't have means into politics is over. That era died with Abena Bakaunda. You know, those were people that were the forerunners, the forefathers of this nation. They had nothing. All they had was a dream in their heart to make Zambia better and independent. That era is gone. We are now in a different era, a different dispensation. The dispensation of service, service to nation, service to country. But if you elect leaders who have nothing, who own nothing, and then you put him as a president, what is he going to do? He will devour everything in sight. Don't be naive. Don't be foolish and think that no, nile somwine. No, man. God creates the tree, we make the furniture. You understand that? God creates the tree, we make the furniture. So if there's no work ethic, if there's no sustainability, if you don't have a leader that has some type of firm financial grasp of how finances work and how sustainability works, and then you just throw him into the presidency, it'll be chaos. Now, my point is this. The reason Fred Membe's party is going through what they're going through is because of this idea that the whole financial burden rests on the shoulders of Fred Membe. He's just one man. He can't sustain a nationwide campaign on his own. You need members to do that. If you have 1 million supporters and each person donates every day one kwacha, that's 1 million kwacha every day. But if you, the supporters, are always looking to the leadership of the party you claim you support, kuti kuri nsala yo tudire nsala ngamulefu atumi votere tupeni kwe fyakulya, that is completely chaos. If you're that is upside down, and we have to change that. We have to change it. It cannot be business as usual. Things things have to change. And this is one of the reasons I'm very proud of this Hakainde Hichilema, who, had he wanted, he would have stepped away and said, I don't want to wallow in the political conflict because I'm self-sustained. But he chose service for the nation first. Rather than thinking about amassing wealth for himself, he chose service. Now, granted, he's not perfect. We know that. I know that because he's human. I'm human. I'm not perfect. You are not perfect. But I'm talking about the intent. The intent, the desire to serve. This is why when Hakainde Hichilema came, he was using words like magnanimous, service to the country, service, not ruling. Rule. We're going to rule over you. No. Wrong terminology. Nobody rules. We are not a monarchy. We are not a totalitarian state. We don't have kings and queens. We are a democracy that operates under the pavilion of tenure. When you do your term, it's over, it's done, you step aside. The people of Zambia choose again. They vote for who they want. They usher in a new leadership. That's how it works. But this idea, Kuti, we are going to rule over you. Bane, let's move away from that. Let us adopt this new terminology. Magnanimity. Be magnanimous. Serve the people of Zambia. During the tenure that the people of Zambia give you, serve. Serve. So my point is this. We need to change the way we do politics and the way we raise money within political parties. People like Harry Kalaba, people like Fred Membe, these are people that when push comes to shove, are not able to sustain a nationwide campaign. Nationwide, I'm not talking about a ward, a constituency, a province, or a district. When it comes to real politics, where the big boys meet the big boys, where a nation's destiny is at stake, the whole nation, 10, count them, 10 provinces, 70-something dialects, you need an effort that is sustainable nationwide. That, my brothers and sisters, is not a joke. It's not child's play. It's not patty cake, bake a man. Serious business with serious money. Where does that money come from? It's supposed to come from you and I, supporters of any party of your choice. You understand? I jest, but you know what I'm talking about. That's what it is. All righty. Thanks for watching, guys. That's what I wanted to say to you. Listen to this. Watch this. He says, my girlfriend is perfect. Oh, well, I hate to be the one to have to break this to you, but she's not. She may be pretty and cute, but she ain't perfect. I can tell you that right now. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. God bless. Bye.